Okay, we're going to be live in a minute. Let's limber up, Pete. Let's limber up. Warm up. Warm up. Woo! We're going to be live. Any second.
Yeah, you're stressing PT.
Okay, all right. Okay. Greetings and welcome to another Lattes with Lorimer. I am out of breath officially. Here we are at PLG HQ on the east side, and one of the gods of said east side. Whew, just let me catch my breath. Really am fit. Is this guy sitting next to me, Mr. Peter Tomlinson.
Hello, everybody.
So Peter has been doing real estate in the cool hip east side. For how long now, Pete?
I actually started in this building in 1998.
Wow.
With Fred Sands, who's I can mention because they're no longer around.
And you didn't remain when it became Scientology?
Sorry to say I haven't.
So Peter and I have been mates for a while. Peter was with another company not so far from here. We have been speaking. Peter comes, we're going to get into it. But one of the things that I love about Peter and I love about a lot of the guys here is they have a really creative background. So before we get into kind of the real estate stuff, this is as much, finding out about you as the person as you as the realtor. So tell us about Peter Tomlinson. Where did you come from before the wacky world of real estate?
Okay.
And cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
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 That is very odd.
From whence I came,
From
where I came.
From whence
I
you
was
came.
I was born in the Midwest in Chicago, and I lived there until I was 18. Came out here in the Navy in 1981, and that being said, I never went back. I'm not a big fan of cold weather, so I was in the Navy for 3 years. I went all over Asia and Australia, and the real reason I wanted to come out here is because my brother rode his bicycle from
Chicago?
From Michigan, actually from New York. He was going to go to England, but he got kicked out.
Oh, really?
He said, "What's your purpose here?"
They're a picky bunch over there.
Yeah.
You're not quite as picky over here with the English, I see, but...
Right. But they're like, "No, you don't have any. You gave us the wrong answer. You got to go." Anyway, point being, he was my mentor brother. He moved out here. He rode his bicycle from New York out here to Catalina after he got turned away in Europe. And I'd always aspired to play music with him.
Right.
And the only vehicle by which I could do that at that point in my life was to join the service. So here I am, and I eventually, when I got out, I started playing music. And
What instrument did you play?
drums and percussion.
Nice. Any bands that we know?
Elvis, the Mexican Elvis.
Okay.
I was with a band called Shadow Project. It was a goth project. That was ex-Christian Death. I was also with a band called Glue.
I like that name.
That's a great name. I actually met another guy from Glue about two weeks ago. He was in the Oklahoma Glue, and I understand there's an English Glue.
Oh, there is? I don't know.
So anyway, that being said, another band called Lifter. I went on tour with them. They were on Interscope, and so I've been around.
So then...
Yeah.
Like many of us in real estate, it's kind of like almost like an unwritten rule. Occasionally, I will stumble across someone who in school wants to be in real estate. Generally, it's the second or third or fourth career for most of us. Mm-hmm. And then we tend to fall in love with it, and we kind of launch into it and make it blossom into a career in its own right. How did you get into the world of real estate? What attracted you?
So my mentor brother, back to him, he's been the inspiration of many things in my life. Cooper, hi. And he bought his first house in Echo Park. And to tell you a little bit about how the market's changed in Echo Park, he bought his first house under $100,000.
Oh my God, what year?
It was 97. It was a little salt box, single story, 1 bedroom. It had I could go on and on about it. Anyway, he said, you know, this guy that has been helping me really reminds me of you. And I'm like, in what way? And I'm like, I'm a musician. I'm not a businessman. Well, I quickly learned that, you know, the two kind of go hand in hand as far as, you know, being open and creative and solution oriented and problem solving and DIY in terms of promoting yourself and that sort of thing. So it actually became a really great fit. So my brother said, you should get into real estate, and I went and got into real estate.
So one of the things that, you know, we try and marry here, and you've naturally been marrying in your business for some time.
And marinating.
And marinating, is the industry's changing, right? When you and I first, well, certainly when I got into it, you've been into it longer than I,
Yeah.
but when I got into it, I caught the tail end of kind of the corporate world,
Right.
and now since the advent of the internet and being able to do things like have this Facebook Live show, creativity has naturally permeated the industry. So
I agree.
what are some of the things that fuel your creativity in your day-to-day business?
I really like the setting up a listing and as a presentation, as something that's not only somewhere to live, but from my perspective, I like to, when I'm listing a house, I like to go all out and make sure every T is crossed and I is dotted. My beautiful wife, Houston, helps me a lot, but when she can't help me, I always make sure that I get somebody to help me set up the house. I always get a really good photographer, and I really like to put in my, I don't know, I like the creative aspect.
Sure.
That way. The production of presenting something, so it makes people excited. They get emotionally attached.
Agreed.
You know.
I love that too. I mean, for me, the whole advent of video and being able to present not just schmaltzy house videos, but all this kind of video, I find just so fascinating. So you've been with us now for a couple of months, and naturally this is about you. This is about Peter T. And if you don't know who Peter Tomlinson is, let's shoot out your handles. What's your Instagram handle?
Peter T. Realtor LA.
Peter T. Realtor LA.
And Twitter. Wait, is that Twitter?
You'll find him. Or just Google Peter Tomlinson and he will pop up.
Peter Tomlinson Real Estate. You'll find me.
So you know you have options. You can go anywhere you want. What is it that drew you to PLG?
Well, as you recall, we did a transaction a few years ago. We had met prior to that, I think. I actually remember you in 2012. I had a listing in Atwater, and I saw you looking at a house for a client. And this guy had an iPad. He's walking around with the iPad. I'm like, man, he's high tech. And that was 2012. And you were helping somebody, and I don't know, I kind of like, who's that guy? I think we talked briefly then. And then we met at a listing I had on Waverly. I remember that, and the great Matt Weinberg.
That's right. We
spent lots of time talking, and we talked about you, and we won't talk about everything we talked about, but and then you and I did a transaction the following summer, and the chemistry was there as could be had between cooperating brokers, but and then of course the reason I came to this place, not only it was where I was actually from in real estate, this actual building is where I got my start. My mentor's office was just down the hall, and I just saw a need to go beyond, the black and white. I wanted to have something that was more, that reached people like you reach people, and I thought this was great. This guy's got a handle on technology and all kinds of creative aspects of the business, and I thought, well, why not? Is this as good a fit as any?
We are thrilled to have you, Peter, and everybody knows Peter, but for those one or two people that don't know him, he is an Eastside killer. He does a tremendous amount of business, and it is a joy and privilege to have you here. So tell us about your upcoming listing.
So my upcoming listing, I just came from that just now. It is wonderful, 2 townhouses, of course, side by side, It's up in just off of Sunset. You can literally walk down to Sunset, stroll down to Sunset is the proper MLS term. You've got everything at your disposal. Everything Silver Lake is right there. You've got views, you've got brand new construction, beautiful architecturally appointed units. Both sides, they're kind of a mirror image of each other, but on the opposite side.
It's beautiful. It looks
It's
almost
beautiful.
like lofts, you know, these kind of get
Very loft style, open, airy.
And what's the price point on them?
In the 1.1 range,
All right.
1.1 million range. And these are just very well built. I've worked with this guy before. Actually, it was the same guy that you and I did the transaction with. And yeah, I'm very proud of this new listing. It's going to be coming up very, very soon. We're getting it ready, so
for more information, you can ping us, you can ping Peter, but at this point you and I hug. We stand up and hug.
Okay.
For no good reason other than we should.
All right.
Peter Tomlinson, thank you very, very, very much. Another Lattes with Lorimer is over. Cheers to you. God save the Queen.
God save the Queen.
And we'll see you all next time on Lattes with Lorimer. See you all soon. Bye.